Fire up ChatGPT, create a simple info product, put it online as a PDF, sit back, relax, and watch the money roll in. Yeah, that's what all the gurus say, but is that actually reality? Well, today I'm going to talk to you as someone who's been in the info product business for over 25 years. And yes, I've made millions of dollars with various different info products. Some PDFs I sold from $7 to $20 each. Full-blown info courses I've sold for $200 to $500 each. And a super stealth method we're going to be talking about today that blows everything else out of the water. And yes, you can use AI to create these. But first, info marketing is nothing new. In fact, these little pamphlets and info products have been around since the dawn of time. This one here is from 1939. And I'm pretty sure it's responsible for making a gigantic business we all know today. There were even info products and courses here online, like the famous Internet Marketing Center by Corey Rudel. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but his products have stood the test of time. Here's an info product I outsourced a few years ago, where my assistant went and took notes from many of my videos and put together a nice, colorful, printable book. This thing sold like crazy. Now, we give it away to help people make money online. More about where you can find that in just a minute. First, I want to get to the nitty-gritty of what to expect and how this business works. As many of the gurus say, yeah, you just slap something up half-witted with ChatGPT and get rich. And we all know that that is not the case. You need to find the right market, you need to create a good product, and you need to package it correctly. As I say many times here on this channel, information structured differently can make you a lot of money. And that is what we're going to be doing today. I'm actually going to choose a niche market live on camera, walk through how I would come up with the information, the ideas, the sales plan, how I would get traffic, how to get sales, and more. But I want you to remember, this is a business. There is risk, there is reward. The vast majority of people watching make money online videos make nothing. So take this with a grain of salt. You're not going to watch this video, tell ChatGPT to make an info product and get rich tomorrow. That is not reality. However, for those that are actually in it to win it, who want to create a real business, I'm going to show you exactly, step by step, line by line, what I did to create mine. And it all starts with having the right market. So today, you're going to get to go to work with me, and I'm going to show you exactly how I set this up, step by step, with nothing left out. Yes, this is about building a real business. So if you're excited, type real business as a comment below and let me know, because today I'm holding nothing back. Come on, let's go to work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. We got the big screen on today so that we can show you everything step by step. Hopefully you don't mind me being up in this little box over here. But what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to start and run a real business. As you guys know, results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed. The average person trying to make money online makes nothing. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a systematic approach to actually building a business. This has risks, it has rewards. There's all kinds of stuff that we have to look at here. Obviously, always want to look at legal issues and things like that. What we're going to do is we're going to try to find something very simple, something that we can build here live. So if you're excited about this, type build it live or something like that. I feel like we're in the Field of Dreams movie. If we build it, they will come. But what we're going to do is we're going to build it so that they come, because we're going to build it first knowing that people actually want that, what we have to offer. This is the most important part of making money online. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to turn info product niches into software dashboards. This is a very simple strategy. It's something that works like crazy. You could use it in virtually any niche where info products can be. If you don't know niches, don't worry. We're going to get you a report and we're going to go through some. And we're actually going to pick one here live on the show, which I did pick ahead of time because there are things you need to set up, like web hosting and things like that. So in order to set all that up to show you the live demo, I did pick one, and I think you guys will like it. It's kind of a fun one, and it has some really, really good traffic strategies that'll make a lot of sense for you. So if you guys are excited, let me know by smashing the like button and as a comment below and chat box and all that fancy stuff. First of all, the goal here is how to turn an info product idea into a profitable, easy to understand software dashboard. I'm going to show you the strategy. This is something I've been doing for many years. First time I ever did this was back in the year 2000. I have upgraded since then. I am actually using Front Page 2003. So, I mean, we've come a long way from the old Front Page beginnings to Front Page 2003. I choose to use this because it's easy, and there is one setting I like because I like to use Snagit, and I also like to use Front Page, and I don't want to have to save everything as I go along. I want it to automatically do it. So I'm going to show you why that is beneficial. That's why I stick with Front Page. You don't have to. You can use HTML6 or any HTML editor, or you can even have AI create these for you. The ability of AI to create some of this stuff is astounding. Just yesterday, I gave Alina, our vibe coder here, a task to do that I don't understand how to do. She was able to figure it out with AI, and she made the page better than I even could probably make it myself, and I've been doing this a while. So looking at that, there are ways for us to use this. You can use AI. You could use a hybrid approach. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you a hybrid approach, which is partially AI, partially me doing HTML. I'm going to show you why I want this partial approach or hybrid approach in just a minute. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the audience, and we're going to get the core value of the perceived higher value and recurring revenue. What we want is we want something people are actually going to use, all right? Contrary to what a lot of people in the info product niche do, not what they preach, what they do is creating junk products that people never use. I'm a big believer of making really good stuff. So first what we're going to do is we're going to find profitable niches. We're going to start with proven info product niches. You can start with AI. You can ask ChatGPT to find info product niches. I went through. I got the list we're going to give you here in just a minute, which is over here somewhere. Well, I have a list here we can use. Same list from ChatGPT. We're going to look at this and see what people are searching for. Now, you could start with like time management, weight loss, budgeting, affiliate marketing, self-improvement, whatever you want. Now, I would suggest find a very small part of a market. So like, how many of you guys have ever thought, well, I like helping people, maybe I want to go into the self-help niche? A lot of people come to me, they're like, I want to be in self-help, I want to be in law of attraction, I want to be in all of this stuff. Now, self-help and law of attraction are big, broad niches. What we want to do is we want to find something small within those niches. So instead of something like self-help, we're going to go maybe how to stop a habit, how to improve your thought life, something specific, how to get rid of anxiety, things that are very, very easy to get in on. This is where we want to focus because that's going to be a lot easier, one, to tackle the market because it's a smaller market, and two, to make the product because now we have a tight-knit focus. Instead of doing self-help, which could be anything under the sun, we are going to do anxiety or something like that. Now, if you're just starting out and you don't know about self-help or something like that, stick to something easy. Do one simple, easy one. Matt said nail biting. We actually do have a student. I'm working on his site. We actually have an appointment to work on his site. He is in the nail biting niche, which, you know, there is a lot of people in there, a lot of people doing that. I don't know what the margin would be, but there are other things you can give people like that. Or if you're in the law of attraction, maybe you do something like vision boards rather than just law of attraction. So going through and looking at our niche, we want to start small. I'm a big advocate of starting small because if you start small, you can build a list and then you have something to scale from. If you start broad, you're almost like starting bad because you're not able to get into that niche. You can't really scale, you can't really build unless you have a lot of money, which most people don't. That's what this channel is for. People that are struggling, people that maybe have a little bit of money, they want to make this stuff work, and they're tired of all the people that are like, push A5 and ChatGPT is magically going to make money. Obviously, that was a joke. That does not happen. AI is not going to make you money. What you do with AI can help you make money. So finding the profitable niches, what we're going to do is we're going to ask AI. So I can ask Gemini Advanced with deep research, hey, what are the top niches that are good for info products? Okay, we're going to start with the info product, which would be like ebooks and software and stuff like that, and we're going to pivot to something else, which is much, much more profitable. So we could see here like stock footage, audio products, reports and guides, digital services and coaching, all kinds of things like that. Now, I can also use Notebook LM, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Discover Sources, and I'm going to say top info product niches, something like this, and it'll go through and it'll do the research for me and get me those top info product niches that I can use and actually build something out of. So let's go ahead and import this, see what it comes up with. Now, in ChatGPT, I found this to be the easiest one because I went through, I think it was this one maybe. No, maybe it's down here. It was one that I created, which literally was super simple, and it worked really well, and it had a bunch of niches on it. I copied them here, luckily, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take these niches, and we're going to put these into our keyword tool over here. We'll just go to Keyword Explorer, right, like this. And I'll just put these in here and kind of see what's going on. So it went through and categorized them for me, which is really good. This is the basis of starting a business, right? Understanding what the market wants, what's going on. If you were going to start a restaurant, you would want to survey the area and say, okay, well, what kind of things do people in this area like? What kind of things do they consume? What do they not like so that I don't sell that? If everyone, in my town doesn't like omelets and I start an omelet restaurant, I'm not going to be very successful. I need to know these things first. If I start a foo-foo high-end restaurant in a place that can't afford it, I'm starting on the wrong foot. How many of you guys see this? And this is something a lot of gurus don't teach you because they're too busy showing you, hey, here's the plan and the execution rather than here's the strategy behind it. Business is 100% strategy and like 0.0% the other stuff. Anyone can build a tool, anyone can build a software, anyone can do this stuff. But we need to look at the strategy. That's where we start. So we're going to start with the strategy. We're going to look at these keywords like this, and we can see like how to stop procrastinating. Okay, cool. We could see almost 8,000 people a month are looking up how to stop procrastinating. Let's dig deeper. I'll go into the dashboard like this. If you don't have a keyword tool, you could do this with AI. You could use free keyword tools. I mean, go get a $20 keyword tool if you're really going to do it, and then just get the data you need before you build your business, and then, maybe you can get rid of that expense later. So what we're going to do is we're going to do procrastinating, see what comes up here. So procrastinating, 20,000, stop procrastinating. So there's a lot of traffic here. We can also do procrastinate, right, like this. Why do I procrastinate so much? Why do people procrastinate? So this would actually be a decent one. This is a pain niche. This is one where people don't know why they don't do what they want to do. Right? This is like the age-old thing of like, I know what I need to do to get the result I want. Why don't I do it? I know if I go to the gym and work out, I'll lose weight. Why don't I do it? You're probably like me. If I don't have a personal trainer there that's going to charge me if I don't come in, then I'm probably not going to go to the gym because I'd rather sleep in. So looking at this is a big pain point market. If there's no pain, no desire, or no one wanting anything in that market, it's not going to work. If I was to go out there and say, funny cat videos, that's not going to make a good info product because people aren't buying that. They go to YouTube to watch the funny cat videos. What we need is something that has a pain point, something that's going to make people say, yes, I want to buy that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take it a step further and say, how do I turn this into something consumable, something good that these people will actually use? This is very, very important. So we need to see, does it have a pain point? Are people interested in it? Can it work? Now, we've only looked at like 5 keywords so far. Let's take a look at some others, or 10 to be exact, right? We have business and entrepreneurship. So make money, blogging, Shopify, all of this. Yes, these make good info products. Is it one you should do if you've never actually done this? Well, sell digital products on Gumroad. Okay, that could be a specific one. I don't know much about that, but it could work, all right? Let's see what the traffic's like. The Gumroad one, not a whole lot of traffic there. However, you could probably go like make money on Gumroad or whatever. I don't know much about that again. Now, how to start an online business, that could work. Let's take a look at finance and investing. Okay, and I'll have an entire list of these that you can go through with the search volume and all the bells and whistles over at downloadmynotes.com. All right, we'll get that for you. Personal finance course. Now, this kind of stuff, personal finance course, this could be really good. And what I'm thinking here as I go through this is personal finance course leads to all the economic upheaval that is happening right now in the world, and that can be a really good one to sell. Maybe how to adjust your finances in the age of a recession or depression. Right? Something like that. How to actually build wealth. If inflation goes haywire, how do you keep your money and the value of the money? Different things like that can work really, really well because those are pain things. That's stuff that people stay up at night worrying about. So it's easier to sell a product. Obviously, we want to make sure that we are going out there and we are using ethical, good stuff. Always be ethical. Always provide good info. Focus on helping your people. Why? Because they'll come back and buy over and over and over again, and they'll do the stuff that you recommend as well. So now we could see here budgeting for beginners workbook, and we can even take this a step further in AI and go through and say, hey, you know what? Can you find me some other ones in this niche? And it'll do it for us. You don't need a keyword tool to do this. Personal finance, real estate investing, stock trading, whatever, okay? Going on even more, you can do education and learning. These ones are a little bit tougher. Education and learning as per like colleges and stuff like that. There are ways to get into them. It is a little bit tougher though. Let's go ahead and go to mindset and mental health. This is a good one. Mindset stuff is easy because it's really, like there's a lot of content I can glean from. Notice I said glean. We're not copying. We are not duplicating. We're not cloning. We are gleaning from other things. It's the same thing if I was to go get 1,000 books on a topic or 100 books on a topic, which sadly that's about how I go book shopping. I go get a million different things, and then made my own judgment of them and stuff like that, right? We are gleaning from it. So now I can see like manifestation journal, anger management worksheets, mindfulness for beginners, shadow work, and on we go. All right? Really cool. Just kind of getting the lay of the land, seeing what's out there. Now, as I was doing this, I went through and I found one I really liked. I believe, let me see if it came up on this list. Yes, this one here. So under self-improvement and productivity, I found this morning routine guide. I'm going to tell you why I like it, and then we'll set it up. How many of you guys are like, dude, I like the whole go to work with Marcus kind of thing because I get to look over your shoulder as you build this and get to see your thought process as you're going through. So we have morning routine guide. Okay, not a lot of searches. So right off the get-go, you'd probably be like, yeah, leave this one alone. However, going even deeper, when we look at morning routine, now we're getting to a bigger market. And what I'm thinking here is there's a lot of videos, there's a lot of content online about different people's morning routine. They're obsessed with like, what does Jeff Bezos do when he wakes up? How does he get $1 billion before breakfast or whatever? Obviously, I'm making it up, but you get the idea. And we could see here different names, right? So morning routine checklist, stretch routine, morning routine. So this is actually pretty solid. I like the idea of morning routine. I could probably go out there and find sites that are just dedicated to morning routines, right? Like here's some morning habits, all kinds of different stuff. So there's a lot of stuff out there for morning routines. There's even a Martha Stewart page about morning routines. Let's see what that one comes up with. And you can kind of see, okay, what is it that these people are interested in? Here's some keywords here. It is a big market. Like it's one where even if they're not searching it, which they are searching it. So we're good there. I do want to see some search volume. I don't want something with like 0 or something like that. I want something. It could be small, but I want to go through and I want to be like, okay, there's a lot of people that are success-minded people that are interested in a good morning routine. They're like, okay, what would it be like? How do successful people behave and act? Now, years ago, lots of years ago, there was a book called Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich. Tagger. There's our acronym, right? Think and Grow Rich was a book where the guy interviewed a bunch of rich people, figured out what made them tick, made it into a book, sold 1.5 billion copies, and himself got rich in the process. Interesting. What we learn from that is that people are interested in what makes successful people successful how can I duplicate it, right? How many of you guys listening here, you guys are all interested in success in business at some point. How many of you guys are like, yeah, I would like to learn what does Marcus's routine look like? How does he make money and other people don't? Or how does this other guy make money? Very interesting. So looking at that, we could do morning routine. Now, I can go back to ChatGPT, and I could just start a new one and say, find me 100 keywords, success related in the morning routine market or niche. Something like this, okay? And we're gonna go through, and we're gonna see what this looks like. Now, what I'm visualizing, this is what I'm thinking now, a dashboard that they go on to every morning. They have their coffee, and they pull up the dashboard, and it's like, here's your morning routine. Boop, click the button, watch the morning meditation for the day. Cool, okay, there we go. This will give you the morning meditation to get your mindset right. Because if you go out there and you watch the news and you watch the stock market and all the things, your mind's gonna go in all different directions and you're hosed before you even start. Notice how I'm focusing on getting something they will actually use and benefit from. We want something they will use and benefit. So now we have this stuff here. Okay, we have morning routine. We got a lot. Morning mindset. Okay, so maybe like morning mindset or even success mindset, we can go out and branch a little bit out, because this is anything and anyone who is interested in morning routine. It's going to be so easy to get traffic to, because that's why I chose the niche. I choose a niche based on, can I get traffic? Do I have something to sell? I'm not gonna choose a niche based on, well, you know what? I like shoveling snow. Okay, that's a dead end. We need to make data-driven decisions, not guru-driven decisions. This is very important. So morning success mindset. Let's toggle around here, see what we have. So morning success, let's do morning mindset. I'm gonna copy success just because I want that one in there. So morning mindset, nice, looks good. Okay. Got morning devotional for the religious side of the thing. We have a journal, morning mindset journal, pretty specific. And here's the deal. Instead of going out there and trying to help everyone a little bit, I want to help a small group of people a lot. Okay, this is key. I would rather be a big fish in a small pond than a tiny little fish in a big pond. How many of you guys are with me and you're like, that makes sense? This is working. Now let's do success mindset. I'm sure that's got some searches, and it does. So all kinds of stuff. Mindset quotes for success. Maybe even morning meditation. Something like this. There you go. All right, great. So morning meditation. We got lots of good stuff here. This is showing me, yeah, this niche has got a lot in it. There are angles everywhere that we can get people in, right? So morning routine, it leads to success, it leads to quotes, it leads to meditations, it leads to all kinds of things, right? So now we're saying, hey, this niche is solid. How many of you guys are like, this is a pretty solid niche, I'm digging it, this is looking pretty good. And what I'm gonna do, I got a little screenshot I took earlier of the domains I got, and I'll let you guys pick which one you like, and we'll set it up on there. I think there's one we can't choose, though, because I was not able to set it up in time. Let's see here. Where did it go? Domains, transaction complete. Is that it? No, that's not it. I buy a lot of domains, so it might take a minute here. Let's see, 29th. I know I bought them this morning. There we go. Cool. So, order placed, view, order. It's going to make me log in. Let's see here. Cool, there we go. Okay, so here we'll get a little screenshot of it so you can see the domains I got. And if you guys appreciate these, smash the like button. These types of webinars are pretty difficult to do, but you know, I like to show you guys what's going on so that you can make a good decision about how stuff works. All right, so far in this business, I'm in it like $33, and you could be cheaper than that if you're focusing on just one. Okay, so I got morningskills.com. I got Inspire Morning and Morning Solution. The one I like the best just happens to be the one that I didn't set up, but that's okay. I like the others as well. Morning Solution is my favorite. However, I kind of like Inspire Morning better because it's more inspiring. Solution is more like
I don't know. Not that great. And skills is okay too. So let me know which one you like. Just type solution, inspire, or skills, and we'll take a look from there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to set up something that I can use to help people and sell them into other stuff. And what I'm thinking is, okay, this market's not just about morning meditation, morning routine. It's about planners. It's about success. It's about all this other stuff that people are doing. I could even go into like a morning smoothie. That's something I do as part of my routine, and it works really well. It completely sets your mindset. Very cool. And maybe you can do like, maybe your tool can show them the news of the day, but block out other stuff, or maybe even have like, while you're reading the news, be careful because your mind is important. So a lot of people like the Inspire one. I think that was the one, yeah, that was the one that I like. So we'll use that. Let's see if we have this set up here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my web host. This is basic stuff. If you want to learn web hosting and follow along with my videos, we have instructions over at GoHubSite.com. Over there, that's a site that I own. It's got little instructions on how to set up, okay? You can even get a domain there. I don't know if they have the special where you get a domain with it. I'm not sure, but it's pretty cheap to get a domain, as you guys saw. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our cPanel and set it up and make sure that we have our caching turned off, which I believe we do. And then what you'll see is over on the site we chose, Inspire Morning, you can see I have nothing. I just set it up. Now, we are not going to put WordPress on this just yet. We might later, but just for now, not yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Inspire Morning right here, and I'm going to create a folder. I'm just going to do this. I might move it, but at least I'll have it in a folder so I don't have to worry about other files and stuff like that. I'm going to call this folder, let's call it desktop or console or Go. We'll just call it Go, okay? You can rename it later. Not a whole lot to worry about there. Now, we're going to keep this open. Fantastic. You should see it show up here, right? If everything is perfect, did we do Inspire Morning? I think we did. Up a level, Inspire Morning. Yes. Let's make sure our caching is off. Inspire Morning. Or is it at? There we go. Make sure this is off here. Enable caching, no. Profile, no caching. Save changes. That should do the trick, hopefully. And let's see, come on now. Should do the trick for us. It's still loading there. Come on now. You can do it. We believe in you. Come on. And then what we're going to do while we're waiting for this to load, we're just going to go to ChatGPT and say, cool, I chose the name Inspire Morning. Please make a nice logo, small, simple, colorful, white background, colorful, comma, white background. And let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so we're going to do like this. Yeah, the caching can be a pain. Looks like, is it still spinning? Okay, let's try a different browser just to see if that's going to do it. Either way, we will be able to get there. I think I can just go to Go. Yeah, so it is there. It's just being funny. But that's okay. This is all part of the deal, all part of the, this is part of the journey, right? Sometimes we have struggles and things like that, and that's fine. Let's turn to VPN on and just see if, yeah, VPN did it. So that was the key. So now we're going to go through, and we're going to have this here, and we're going to go through and get our logo. Okay, Inspire Morning, that's pretty cool. Now for me, I'm going to go through, and I'm going to minimize it a bit. If it wants to try again, it's going. All right, there we go. Good thing we got something to sit on here. There we go. All right, so now we're going to go through, and we should have our logo. I'm going to minimize it because I want it really small. The reason I want it really small is what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a software out of it. This is where the big money's going to come in, is understanding how to make this software type stuff. So let me see if I can get you a demo of one of the ones I'm working on now. I believe it was, let's see here. SS25. This is a demo of the new Simple Sites course. This is one that I've been running for a long time that actually, it's made lots of money, and I've done lots of derivatives of it too. I think it was WD. Let's see here. Might be able to find it. But basically what it is it's going to look like this. This is the old version. It's going to look like this. Logo up here, something over here if you want another logo, and then our desktop here. And the idea is you're going to come in here. You're going to click the buttons. It's going to take you to all the stuff. You watch the video and learn. Go over here. It's got more stuff. So it's like this whole big thing. How many of you guys are like, dude, yes, this software, this desktop is much better than just a standard ebook, right? And I'm going to show you how this works, because if we can get people using this over and over, then we can upgrade them to things. There's all kinds of possibilities here that normal ebooks don't allow. So now we have Inspire Morning, which looks pretty cool. I'm just going to go ahead and use a program called Snag It. It's a very easy program. It's aptly named. It's going to snag something, just like we did here. All right, you guys have seen the Got Niches logo. That was also created with AI, although it had niches on 2 lines, which is why we went through and made that work. Someone says 2.7 million is hat. I don't know what that means. A hat? Is that the new cool term? I don't know. But at any rate, what we're going to do is we're going to take this here. I'm going to fill with white. I'm going to do selection. Get the words here. Okay, that should do the trick. Inspire. And then I'm going to get morning. Right like this. I'm probably going to put these on 1 line. Like this. And make it a little bit longer. So we'll do here, move this one over, Inspire Morning, right like this. Morning over here. I don't think I need anything else. That looks okay. I was a little worried about like the fact that that P got cut off, but that's fine. I'm just going to block it out here with a little white box. I like that. Fill the rest. Boom. We got a logo. Looking pretty solid, okay? Let's trim it right like this. And there we go, Inspire Morning. Pretty happy with it. Now you could go through, I could be a little bit of a pain and move these down if I want to. Just kind of get it how you like. Not too worried about our logo. That's not by any means going to affect sales. Okay, this is all just vanity stuff at this point. Inspire Morning, cool, great, wonderful. So now I got our logo, add a little spot here. I do care about the white spot blocking that, so there we go. All right, so now we have this here with the white, okay? Inspire Morning, very good. Now we're getting here, we're making it make it work. It's cap, is that a good thing? I haven't heard that term. Now we're gonna go through and we're gonna do this here, okay? So I'm gonna set up a template. Don't worry, I'll give you guys this template towards the end of the show. What we're gonna do is we're gonna choose a background, okay? You can choose whatever you want. Let's do now make a subtle background image, big format for this site, repeating, something like that. Let's see what it comes up with, and then we can tweak it later, okay? Which is cool. Here we go. And yes, if the cap equals questioning, 2.7 million came from selling info products like this. Now, I have done giveaway ones. I've been doing this for 25 years, so, you know, you got to look at that with a grain of salt. Is the average person going to make 2.7 million? Of course not. Most people make nothing. Have I made that? I've actually made more than that. This is on one of my digital products. So looking at this, what we want to do is we want to look at the niche and see where it comes from. When we talk about these things, I'm showing you as like, hey, I've done this for a long time, so don't expect that you're going to do it. I'm showing you what I've done so that you can make an educated business decision about what you want to do. Now, I'm kind of liking our setup here. Let's see, we could probably make it like gray if you want. Maybe super light gray. And see what that comes up with. Again, not too worried about it. It looks like it does somewhat repeat, maybe-ish, but it's cool. It's got these things here. What I can do is I can just take this image, download it like this. Now, it's very important that when you're building these, you have everything in one folder. Now, if you're using Microsoft Front Page, it's going to put them into a folder called My Websites. If you're using something else, it'll put it somewhere else. My Website shows up in Documents, right like this. And then it'll come up, you should be able to see, there it is, it's like this icon, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create a new one. I'm gonna call this Morning, boom, right like that, okay? As I'm going along, what I wanna do is I wanna build this, okay? I wanna build it and upload it. So when I get my logo, all right, instead of saving it here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save it, File, Save As, and we could save it over in Documents, My Websites, Morning. Save everything in one folder. Thank me later. This is huge. Also, if you want, you can name it Logo, Morning, or something like that. Logo, whatever. Okay, you could change it to whatever. I'm gonna make it easy and just lowercase logo and maybe morning logo dot PNG, okay? Right like that. And you'll see it'll just go in that folder there, right like this. Zoop. There we go. As I'm going along, I want to give this to the folder, okay? So Inspire Morning, I'm gonna go in here, reload, I'm gonna go into Go, I'm gonna put that logo up there where we have to hit upload, right? And then we're gonna drag it there. That way I could see what's going on as I go along, because if I can see those files, now I could give this to AI and have it help me with stuff. Okay, very cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build this out. Now, as we go through, we wanna look at our niche and we wanna take a look at what this is going to look like, okay? We validated the traffic potential. There's plenty of traffic to make money. Is this gonna make $1 million a day? No. Is it gonna make $1 million a year? With a lot of work, I could potentially see this in this market. Obviously, results not typical, applied, or guaranteed. However, the inspiration morning routine market, it's a big market. It is huge, all right? Could I make 100,000 with it? I don't know. Again, results not typical, applied, or guaranteed. Here's what we got. Most people watching this video will make nothing. That's a fact, right? Even if you try and do everything, most people make nothing, all right? What we need to do is we need to make straight up decisions, let AI help us where we can. So, validate the traffic potential. Yes, I think, for me, there's money in this market. There are other offers. I could charge for this product. It's good, okay? So now we're gonna go through, we're gonna think about pricing and monetization. Morning routine is a very small, isolated niche. It's not one you're gonna do $1,000 course in. I mean, you could potentially. Could I, in good conscience, make a course about morning routines and charge $1,000 for it? No, not in good conscience. What would I do? Probably in the neighborhood of $47 to $97, or something like $17 a month and get it ongoing with a class in there where we all talk about our morning routines and help each other out. That could be something I can do on an on-term basis. I started a little membership thing that was 17 bucks. It's doing pretty well. I think we're making like, I don't know, 16 grand a month on it so far. Haven't promoted it a bunch recently, but in the beginning of the year we did, so it's a good passive income. Now, again, results not typical, applied, or guaranteed. We wanna look at this like a business and make good decisions. So, 47 bucks, that's probably good for most people for a dashboard. What we wanna do is we wanna say, well, what is this gonna do? How am I gonna get more value than the $47? How do I make this good? Right? I want to go through and I want to think of what other people don't do. Sure, I could go watch a video about Michael Jordan's morning routine, but I'm not 16 feet tall. I don't play basketball. Most of his stuff's not going to work for me. And even if it did, I could watch a video on it. I don't need to buy a course about it. Does that make sense to everyone? Not everything is course worthy. Contrary to what the gurus think, I'm not going to make a how to tie my shoes course. I don't think that's really where we want to go. Right? We want to have something good and add value. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan this dashboard. I'm going to go through, we got our logo, we got our background. I'm going to save this background over into our file over here. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this over here and again, rename it. Rename it now rather than later. I'm going to do rename right over here. I'm going to call it back.png or whatever it is. I think it did a .png. Let's see. We just hit properties, back.png. Nice and easy. Okay? Very cool. Do I think something like Blissy would be good for this niche? I do not. I don't think a pillow would be good for this niche. Eventually, yes. What this is about, once you get people to buy this, you can sell stuff off the beaten path. What you're going to see when you do a business is we need to be very tight-knit in the beginning. You want morning routine? You're getting morning routine. Build the list, then I can sell whatever I want. Right? Then I could be like, here's a pillow, here's a smoothie, here's this. Okay, but first we got to get those people in to like the thing and use the thing, then they'll buy the other stuff, which is cool because we already made money on selling them the dashboard. So now we're going to go through. It did light gray, whatever. I'm not too worried about that. Now let's go through and say, now in this market, visualize a dashboard, good. Right, like this, habit tracker, excellent. And all of these things can be done with AI. So let's visualize the dashboard, see what it would look like. Now, as we're going through, I'm going to start building this thing up. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to get this image. Hopefully it doesn't time out our program because Front Page 2003 is the finickiest program you'll ever deal with. If you want to do this without, you can do this on something like HTML6 or any coffee cup, any HTML editor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shrink this down, right like that. I'm going to go ahead and enter a table, insert table. I'm going to do a table of, let's just do 2 columns and 2 rows because I always forget which is a column, which is a row. It's going to help me. I'll just delete. Center, specify width, very important, 1280. We're going to go 1280, that way it fits on most people's computers. Okay, if they're on a phone or whatever, we'll make a phone version. Okay, simple. Now we're going to go through and do cell padding 0, cell spacing 0, borders, let's do 2, and then choose our colors. This is going to be a different one because like in the morning, I don't want them to see like black, dark things. We want them to be vibrant and good morning, hello, how are you? So cool. We're going to go through and do, let's just do gray. Okay, gray should be fine, and I'm going to choose all of them because otherwise it'll look funny. Now we're going to go background. This is where we're going to put our background image. Now, if I go use background image, as long as it's in the same folder, it has to be in the same folder, otherwise you're going to get mad later because it's going to be all wonky. We can do browse, we can get morning, back, and then it should repeat it. I believe it should do it. Let's see. Page properties. Oh, that was the table. No, we don't want to do that in the table. Sorry, I had it wrong. Table properties, remove background image. We don't want that. We do want white for this one, apply. Then to do the background over here, we're going to do page properties. Page properties, that's where I'm going to put my background. Formatting, background picture, browse, back, should put it in there. Might be too light, but we'll see. Did that do it? Page properties, background, make it a watermark, maybe. Background, I think it's doing it either way. It'll show up there, you should see it. Let's go ahead and save as. Save as, we're gonna save this as, oh, that's why, because I saved this in a different one. So we'll save it as morning, and we'll do change title, morning routine software. And I'm gonna double check the spelling because I don't know how to spell routine. I don't know how to spell anything, but routine's definitely one of them. Did I get it right? Let's, routine. It's got a routine. There we go. I just mixed up those letters. There we go. All right, morning routine software. I'm going to name this index.htm. Very important. Naming it index means it's going to show up when people go to the site. Okay, very cool. So now we'll go save. Now it should, as long as the background is still working, which it should, back.png should work fine, okay? That should do the trick. Now, I can test it. I can go here, drag and drop all this here, boop, there we go, yes. And now we should see inspiremorning.com/go. Here's our page, okay? For whatever reason, our background is not working. Let's see, back.png. Maybe because it's a PNG. Oh, maybe because the file don't work. That would probably help. Okay, so let's get rid of this here. The fun, the joys of making things. And when you save in ChatGPT, sometimes it's a little weird. So we'll go like this. We're going to download, and then I'm going to open it in chat. I'm going to open it in, what do we call it? Snagit, right, like this. That's why. Okay, so it's an issue with the actual image. So what I would do in this case is I'll just take a capture of it right here. And we can finalize it later. We don't need to be too picky about this. I do want to get that little mouse thing out of there. So we'll do File, Save As, and we'll call this back.png. There we go. Now this should work. Again, what this is you're walking it through. If you think you're just going to set it up and everything's going to work perfect, it's not. It never does. Nothing I've ever done is just like, boom, there you go. Can you make easier ways to do this? Sure, absolutely. There's our background. Should also reflect on the Go page. Boom, okay? Now we're cooking with gas, right? Pretty cool stuff. Now what I can do is I can start designing this, okay? And we're gonna use AI to make it even better. So now I'm gonna take my Inspire Morning, I'm gonna put that, let's do another table, insert table. We're gonna do 1280. We're gonna do no padding, none of this, none of that. We're going to do 1, and we're going to do borders. We want the border to be 2. Let's make these ones black, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, we're going to put this table in this table, and then we're going to space it a bit. And I'm going to show you why in a minute, and don't worry, I will give you this template. You're welcome. Thanks for being on the show. I'll give you this template towards the end. All right, so now let's see, did we do it right? Let's do zoop. Copy, delete, enter, enter, enter. I want my table properties to not have that spacing. See how it's got that line there? I don't like that. Get rid of it. Let's go a little bit thicker. Good. Okay, now I'm going to paste this down here. It's important that we have it down here because I want the logo up here. Now I'm going to take this, table properties. I'm going to get rid of the border, okay, right like that. And then move this over here. I'm going to move this out. Boom, done. Now what I'm going to do, I have my logo up there. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to do right here. Let's see if we can get this so that you guys can see it. I'm going to do the table a little bit smaller just so you guys can see it while I'm doing it here, okay? There we go. Now you guys can see it all. And it's okay. We could always change it later. Now, going through and looking at this, how much HTML, CSS did you know? None. I don't know any. I'm terrible at CSS. I'm terrible at HTML. I use programs to do everything, and without AI, I wouldn't be able to do half the things I do. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do cell properties. I'm going to make this 325. 325. Color. Okay, that's the border color. We don't care about that. So we'll do white. And in background color on this, I'm going to choose black. I'll show you why in a minute. Apply. Okay, now we're cooking, okay? And I think we had 325 on that, which is good. Now all I need to do is remember my sizing, so I can put like, boom, there we go, disclaimer, copyright, whatever, disclosure. Put all your fancy stuff here, okay? We can do that later. File, save. Now, what we're going to see is we are starting to get something that we can turn into a dashboard like the one that I have, that I had for the simple sites we showed you a little bit earlier, okay? So Inspire Morning, boom, good, great, wonderful. Now over here, we can put video or tool. I would say make it video oriented. So like we want to make it to where, okay, you open this thing up, great, video, hi, welcome, good morning, here's the video of the day. Cool thing about this is we're using these on the web, so it's going to be dynamic. So if I change the video every day, there you go. Do you have to change the video every day? No, you don't. Can you make it more custom? Yes, you can. There's a lot of possibilities you can do here, especially when we're dealing with AI. So we put our video or tools here. I'm just going to, what I do is I type everything I want. That way I can see it later. Okay, so we're going to go through File, Save. Now, we're going to load this over here, and someone says, what's the content going to be? We're getting to that. Just wait, hold on a minute. Being on this call, you're going to learn a lot of really cool stuff, okay? So now we're going to go through here, and we can see Inspire Morning. Okay, I do need to fix this here. Table properties, we need this background to be white. Apply, File, Save. Boom. Let's go ahead and upload over top of that. And I could just do the index file because that's all we changed. Boom. Good. Now we're getting there, okay? I would probably put something over here as well, maybe a counter or something like that. Something cool, okay? Now let's go back to AI and ask it what it thinks our toolbar or our dashboard should be like, okay? Goal: to solve lack of structure, low motivation, and poor consistency in morning routines by giving users a visually appealing, interactive dashboard that promotes clarity, discipline, and momentum. How many of you guys watching this right now would be like, I would probably use this? I get my coffee and I watch the news and I feel terrible because the news is pretty terrible these days. And I go through and it's like, okay, now I'm not doing good. This would help you. Difficulty building consistent morning routine, lack of clarity on what to do each morning, struggles with staying motivated and tracking progress, no system measure performance. Cool. So now we're going to dial this thing down. Daily planner, focus score, habit tracker, checklist, timer, deep work. Oh, nice, a deep work timer. Weekly goals tracker, mood and energy, quote of the day. Okay, so this is what it's saying it would look like. Excellent. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to iconscout.com. I have a subscription to Icon Scout, full disclosure. I think it cost me $300 or whatever. So going through there, you need the rights to be able to use it. Okay, it was cheaper than that. So $15. There you go. Unlimited downloads. All right, so I must have just paid too much. I don't know. We're going to go through, and I'll do morning. All right, we'll do morning like this, and I'm going to get some icons. Okay, so now we have AM. I'm going to try to fit these with what it says, and we're going to build this thing out. This is where the magic happens, and you're going to build something that at the end, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I just spent a week, a month, or whatever it is, building something on data I know works and something I know I can sell. And then we're going to talk about how to promote it, which is actually pretty easy. So we have daily planner. Okay, so let's start with this. Daily. Let's do daily. Boom. Okay, so what do we got for daily? We got a lot of people like money. Maybe this one. This is kind of cool. Or maybe even this here. I like this one. This is kind of looking pretty cool. I think I need to log in. Just give me a second so I can log in. And let's see, log in. Hopefully it has it saved because I don't remember nothing. And we are logged in. Excellent. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building this thing out. Watch how cool this is. So we'll do this here, okay? I'm going to do screen captures just because it's easier. And I'm going to show you why Front Page or other tools do really well for this. And obviously you would have to find the software. I think you can probably get it on eBay or something like that. I don't know. So like this, and then I'm going to do fill, and we're going to fill it with transparent. Zoop, right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do copy. Remember how we made the boxes over here 325? This is why. Watch this, okay? We're going to go File, New image, 325 by 50 or 50. All right? And then we're going to go and we are going to do a shape. First, we're going to do a fill. We're going to fill this in black. Then we're going to do a shape like this. Take the shading off. We don't need any shading. We don't need an outline. We just need a color. I think maybe we can have an outline. Let's see. No, we don't need an outline. So now we have a button like this, okay? And we're going to stretch it out. Now, it's very important that you have the same exact settings on everything, okay? So we're going to go through, and we're going to make sure that this is the setting. Zoop. Like this. Now, I like to have a little bit of a buffer on top side and over here. So we're going to leave this thing exactly the same on every single one, okay? Looking good, maybe a tad over here. Okay, good. How many of you guys are like, I could do that? That's pretty cool. Right, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my little button, boop, boop, beep, right, like that. And you got to make sound effects, makes it work way better. And whoop, come on now. There we go. Control Z is what made that go away. Now, I don't like the orange with the way this looks. Again, make sure your buttons are aligned. I'm going to show you how to do this. It's very easy. This is why I like to use programs that auto-save stuff. I don't like this. I'm going to go, let's do like an early morning color. There, that's way better. Okay? So now I can go through and add some text. Okay? And what I'm going to do, Windows does have a snipping tool. It doesn't do all of this, which is why I don't use that. Okay? So this is not WordPress compatible. All right? What you could do, and I'm going to show you how to do this with a template. Okay? What you could do is you could take my template, throw it in AI, and have it fix it. But even if you don't, the way that this works, there's a reason I called it logo and background, because if you can change that and you can change the other images, boom, you're ready to go. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to go through and I'll add text. So we'll do like this. And watch how easy this is. If you can make the buttons, you're good to go. We'll do like this. And you could say, okay, so the first one is going to be daily planner or like welcome or whatever, morning checklist. Okay, let's call it the daily planner. Or actually, let's call it the checklist, something. Let's see. What would be a good welcome button for them to click every day, like a meditation? Something like this. Let's see what it comes up with, okay? So we'll go here. Begin my morning. That works. Cool. So start with stillness. I like that. Start with stillness. So let's go like this, and I'm going to get a start my morning. Something like this, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this aligned, and I'll probably do black. I liked it better regular. Control Z, okay? So now, this is the format. Okay, I could change the logos, whatever. So if I wanted to change the logo or the little button, I could go through, use Icon Scout, and get like a cup of coffee or whatever it is I want, okay? So if I wanted to get like coffee or something, coffee, right like this. And you could use whatever icon one you like. I happen to like Icon Scout because it's just really easy. So like if I had this button here, right, that'd be pretty solid. Pretty cool looking. Okay, and again, I'd just get a screenshot of it, right, like this, boom, fill, I'm gonna get like this, boop, let's get that there, right, and then I could just start building this thing as we go along. Very simple, okay? If I wanted to make the coffee cup, what I would do is I would shrink this down, put it over top of this so I have the same sizing, and you'll see why this matters in a minute. And then I would just do Control Shift B to send it to the back, get rid of the front one. Now I have the coffee on there. If I wanted to change the color, I just click this over here to get the big thing, right like that, and I just change it to like orange or whatever. Okay, the reason we're doing this is we're gonna make these little icons in here so we have our morning desktop. So there we have start your morning. And we can make it to where it fits, right like that. If you wanted to center it, you can do like that. And then I would probably also Shift-Enter to get a little space up there. If I didn't like the space up there, all I would do is File New, New Image, 325 by 10. Create, fill it with black, and let's do fill. Black, and then I would just put this image right up there. See how that made it like that? And then, of course, going through, if you wanted to have the next button, which would be like whatever the morning planner thingy, your morning planner, right like this, okay? And then all I need to do is link these to other pages. Very simple, okay? So going through and building this, again, if you wanted to have more space, I'll just put that little black icon there. If I like it up against it, you can use it like that. Okay, and what we're doing is we're building something valuable that people will want to use. Like this is something where, you know, this will have a good perceived value. People will click on these things and they'll work. Now, can you use Snagit to grab those icons? That's what I did, yeah. I did do that. So just make sure you have the rights to them. I do have a paid subscription. That's why I use them, and I am using it in the tool. Now, once we're done, let's say we have all our icons here. You could see what it's going to look like, okay? And I would make these icons based on what the plan was in AI. So we got begin my morning or whatever, and then I can do like, okay, focus score calculator. Okay, so let's do focus. Boom, okay? Let's get this here, focus. I would say this. I like that. That's very, very nice, right? So I'll do like this here. Shoop. And make sure you trim it up nicely, otherwise it'll be kind of funny when you get it in here. And then I will do like this, fill. We're going to fill it like this. Boop. Good. And then I would go here. And I would do like get your focus score. This would be something they would definitely want to use daily. Okay? Get rid of that. Change our color here. Let's do orange. Let's do kind of like, let's see. That's cool. Focus, score. Okay, now with this, I should probably justify this way to make sure it matches the others, because it will look funny if they don't match. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see here. So see how that F is over there? We want to make sure it matches, so we're just going to drag it a little bit this way. I think that was the right way. But setting that up when you build it is going to help you. Okay, see how that makes it a little bit better? Obviously, I would do this more perfect on other stuff. Okay? Groomkey says, I create websites for clients, never create website for myself. Yeah, watch this. This is a great way to do it, because what we're doing is we're letting AI tell us what these people would want. Now we have a habit tracker, morning routine checklist, and we're going to go through and build this. Then all we need to do is make sure that our links are working, so we know our site. I would do, let's see, where is it? I think it's under hyperlink right here. And we're going to do https www.inspiremorning.com/go, because that was where our folder was. And then we'll do the first one, which would be start.htm. Good. Copy this. Copy. I just did Control-C. OK. You're going to do the same thing here. Let's go up here. And we're going to do morning or planner. Planner.htm. Then you're going to do focus. Focus.htm. Okay, and we're going to go through and we're going to use all of these. Very simple. Okay, so file, save. Now I'm going to fill this up so that you guys see what the demo looks like. Okay, let's see. Why is that over there? Okay, it's being funny. Let's get that out of there. We'll just get this one. Like that. Next, next, next. Back off these little extra spots. Okay, and I'm just going to get them all the way down, and we're going to change them later. Okay, it's really easy to change later. Once we have this template, we're good to go. So we'll go ahead and file save. All of our links are ready, index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what you're going to change your images to later. okay, or whatever you want. You can change them later as you go as well. We're going to upload all of this, zoop, boop, right like that, okay? Now we have, there we go, right? Inspire Morning. It's got our little grid over here, which is looking pretty cool, looking pretty good, right? How many of you guys are like, okay, this is pretty solid, right? This is great. So now we're going through, and if I wanted to, I could just go through and start making the others. So if I had planner here, okay, and then I could change the icons if I wanted that. File, save as, planner, save. I could do start, welcome video here, file, save as, start.htm, okay? And then as I go through, what's going to happen is I'm going to start filling this stuff out with what the AI gives me. So if I wanted to do, okay, let's come up with a nice morning routine video script with quotes from top people known for their morning routines. Like to center them each day, i.e., good morning, whatever, okay? Very simple. So now we're going to go through like this, and we can create that video, and then all we'd have to do is put the video code in there. It's actually very, very simple, okay? So good morning. Today is not just another day. It's your foundation, your launch pad, your moment to align, and you're not alone. Okay, if you win in the morning, you win the day. This is cool. It's actually like kind of selling them on our product while making a video, so that's pretty good. All right, so now we'd make this video. Okay, I could go through if I wanted to do, let's say, I don't know if I have, what do I have, Camtasia? Do I only have 2021 on here? All right, well, we'll work with what we got. All right, so I could go through and make this video. You could use whatever video tool you want. Doesn't really matter. I thought I had another Camtasia on here. Pretty sure I do. Ah, there we go, 2024. All right, so we're going to use this one here. And we'll see here. So we're going to take our script. We'll go to something like 11 Labs right over here. And we can generate a script, start making a video. We can go to video blocks and get something like a music and things like that, okay? So now, good morning, voiceover, get rid of voiceover. Get rid of voiceover. Get rid of these things. You're not alone. We just want the words. Good. This is good. Get rid of that. Cool. So now what I'll do is I'll get a voice, right? So I think, will this demo it? I don't know if this demos it. I haven't used it in a while. Let's see.
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm.
And I think you guys can hear it. Can you guys hear that?
If you spend your whole life waiting for the storm.
It's a little too brash for the morning.
I just love talking about movies, you know. Hey, are you looking for a fresh government of the people?
That's pretty, like that would be a good wake-up voice. So we could use that there, and then we would just generate speech. It's only like 900 words, and I could make a little video, right? Super simple. I'll show you the basics of how to do it.
Today is not just another day. It's your foundation, your launch pad, your moment to align. And you're not alone. Every great achiever begins their day.
Pretty solid, right? So now we have this here. We can make our video. You could even change, like if you wanted a man's voice for that, maybe like a Benjamin Franklin, like an old voice, something like that. You can make it a little creative, whatever you want. We're going to go ahead and download the speech here. We'll throw this into Camtasia. Just do a new project. Amor, I'm a little lost. He goes a little too fast. Well, watch it a couple times. We're making content based on what the AI told us so that we can build a course about it. And I'm showing you pretty simple stuff here, okay? You just got to follow along. You got to try it. That's the thing, is you just got to try it out. So now going through, I have our downloaded audio here. Put that on the timeline, right like this, okay?
Good morning.
And then I would just go through, use something like video blocks and add some video. Or if you wanted, you could use Sora. I mean, it's not too hard to do. Let's see if I have video blocks on here. Video blocks. Let's see. Log in. Hopefully it lets me log in. There we go, cool. So now we'll do this, and we'll just do like sunrise morning. Sunrise morning, there we go, cool. So like this, right? You just go through and you're like, okay, good morning. Let's do, we don't need super HD, just regular will do. And we'll just drag this here, make our little video, right? Pretty simple. Hopefully it'll, let's see, MP4. Okay, so we'll just do like this, and you can make your video. Obviously, this is not a course about making videos. I just want to show you kind of what we're looking at there, right? So if you wanted to have quotes or whatever, you can make this however you like it, okay? Add clip speed, just so it's there.
Today is not just another day. It's your foundation, your launchpad, your moment.
You can have words on the screen, whatever you want. Super easy. If I wanted to do words on the screen, I'll just show you a basic overview of how this works. Like this. And sometimes it takes a minute. So there you go. Good morning. Good. All right. Obviously, I would make more videos and have more stuff in there, which is really cool. What we're going to do is we're just going to take our video here, export the video, local file, morning video 1. All right. Then we just, okay, here we go. We got 60%, whatever. Fine. Good. Not too worried about that. We just want to do it quick for the sake of the video so that you can understand exactly what's going on. Okay? So we'll go like this. Health and Wellness says there's too many videos to watch, which he leaves not enough time to do something. That's what the pause button is for. Just pause it, go do it. Now, that's one of the reasons we started making the Simple Sites course the way it is. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, let me show you what we've been working on, because it's insane. What we're doing is we are doing tool taskbar or something like that. Let's see, where is it? Task, there we are. What we're doing is we're making these same things. So like I practice what I preach. This is the software that I have sold millions of dollars of copies on. I've done tons of others as well. This just happens to be one of them. And what we're doing is we're making pop-up tools. So like if you're struggling and you're like, hey, I watch your video and I don't know where to start or anything, you can click here, work alongside the toolbar. Right? You can just drag this where you want. Boom. It's got the prompts. It's got the tools. Here's another one. Boom. Pops up. It's got you all the stuff, right? And it's something that you can work alongside. So this is something that we are practice what we preach. It's very simple. You just go through and you're like, okay, I'll follow along here. And they're designed to be in their own lane so that you can follow along, right? Like step 1, step 2, step 3, here's a prompt, here's this, here's that. This is the idea of how you make helpful stuff that people are actually going to use. Very cool. So now, once our video's done, open file location, okay? We're just going to go through like this and watch how this works. We'll do, where do we go? Over here, okay? We're going to drag our video. There it is. Now, if you don't know how to make a video script, which I don't remember how, what we're going to do is we're just going to go to our site, and it should be right here. There's our video, right? So now our video is actually on the web. I could go over to ChatGPT and say, make this a nice video for HTML. You can have an autoplay if you want. Some browsers don't do that, so we'll just leave that alone. Make this a nice video for HTML. Let's do 850 wide by 400, and it should do the code. Let's see. Okay, so we'll do like this. Copy. Just go into the file we made, right? So here's all our files. We'll say this is the intro, edit. Again, remember, this is why we put the placeholder, so that I could go through, because I don't know code. Someone asked me earlier, do you know code? I don't know nothing, but I know how to find video or tools. I know how to find that. Control V, save. Watch what happens now. Now we go back to our main page. Ta-da! Now,
Good morning.
our video loads. not a big fan of the sizing, but I could work my way around that. Like, that's pretty easy. I don't even need to know code. I could say, oh, 850 wasn't enough. Let's do 920 by 500 or whatever. And you just do it until it looks good, basically, right? It's like combing your hair in the mirror. You're like, okay, well, I look funny. Now I don't look funny. We'll stay with that. Very cool. Okay, so now we'll load it up. And this is all on our own server. We don't even need it. We're just dragging and dropping. As long as they're small videos, you're fine on your own server, and you can make them work. And then, of course, there we go. That size worked.
Good morning. Today is not just another day.
So we got our little Inspire morning thing. I can go and fix up this. I'd like to have a little space there. So I could just do, I don't know, let's do height 480. Save. That'll give us a little bit of space and a little bit of leeway. And once you have your template here, you can make this in a really cool way. Are you guys seeing the value of having something like this, where it's like, oh, this is like a fully video-driven course, and it can help them with things like, okay, start my morning. You could have your welcome video here for start the morning. If you're doing a morning planner, maybe I can go through and say, okay, now create a cool, or let's go back to our morning routine one. Now create a cool morning routine planner checklist in HTML based on how they feel, what the workload is like, and give a score with recommended things they can do. Fit this in a 850-ish by 500 box with multiple questions, please. So what we're going to do is we're going to make it like this, and watch what happens. We're going to build this thing and just, like, we're going to dominate. I want to have the best morning routine planner software on the market. So we're going to go through like this. Morning planner, great, wonderful. Now for this, we're getting a little tricky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up a level. I'm going to make a folder called Tools, and put all my tools in it. That way I don't mess anything up. Because if I can mess something up, I will mess it up. Everyone here that works for me knows that if I can mess stuff up, I can, because half of their day is like fixing it. But at any rate, we're going to go Tools. All right. I'm going to get my tool here, copy, and let's see how it looks. We'll go in the tools, we'll do new file. Let's call this, what was it called? Some kind of checklist or something? Morning routine planner checklist, okay. So we'll call this checklist. Checklist.html. We could probably do PHP depending on what it makes, depending on what we want to do. Edit, paste our code in there. Should be able to go back here and see our file. Tools. Ta-da! There we go. Hey, this is cool. How clear is your mind? How's this? Whatever, get your morning score. Cool, take it slow today. Nice, I'm liking this. How are you feeling? I'm positive, happy, anxious, whatever. Okay, excellent. Let's say we could add like a refresh button, but that's okay. What I'm gonna do is I am now gonna say, I put the tool here, make an iframe with the dimensions I showed. What this is going to do is it's going to make it to where I can put it on that page, right? So I'm just going to copy this here. Here's our iframe, or like that. Got to have sound effects. I'm telling you, very important. How is this website going to be monetized? We're going to sell it. This is a course, right? So this is like our own thing. We're going to make a really good morning routine tracker, probably charge $47 for it, and I will have other things embedded in it, like my favorite smoothie for the morning, lead to a smoothie product, my favorite coffee, or whatever, all kinds of things, or even like, you know, a Tony Robbins course, or whatever people are into, right? So now I can go through, and I'm going to take this here. Can the morning routine site make $1 million a year? It probably won't. Can someone in that niche that works harder than ever before possibly maybe one day make that much? It's possible. Are there people in this niche in a roundabout way making a lot of money? I think there are. But the vast majority of people watching videos like this make nothing. So this is just showing you how I build businesses. That's all this is about. You got to have your disclaimer. You got to go work at it. You got to get traffic, which I'll show you in a minute. And there's a lot of variables. So looking at it and saying, okay, can a website that you make in an hour on a webinar make you rich? Probably not. Probably not going to, right? It takes work. So you got to understand this is a business. So let's go through. We're going to go to Go. We're going to go to Planner, Edit, and I'm going to find where I put planners. Planner here, and I put that iframe code. Should do the trick. All right, so now we'll go back to our planner here. Okay, reload just to make sure. So there we go. There's our planner, right? So now it's in there. I don't like the way it looks. So I'd be like, okay, let's make it a little bit bigger on the thing. So we'll go here, I think it was, planner checklist. Yes, 850. Let's do 820. That should solve that problem there. Okay, it's getting there. I can tweak, I can make it work. And then you see, that's what makes it work. Okay, other than that, it would not work. That's why we iframe it on other stuff, okay? Very cool. So now we're going through and we're like, okay, this can work. Could this work if I got a bunch of people to use it and build a business out of it? I think it could. I think it'd be really good. And then you can start making apps and things. Let's see what else it told us to do, right? So we got a video. We got our tool that they can check. Let's see what else it recommended. Let's see. I think we had it over here. Yeah, it was up here. So it said, inspire me. Okay, cool. 1 minute quote or affirmation. Now let's make a tool that rotates quotes daily based on how they feel. Like we have 100 quotes, they click sad, boom, morning, motivation, quote for sad feeling, or whatever. Okay, let's see if it gets what I'm doing here. If you don't have the front page tool, don't worry what you're gonna do, because see, what I did is I got the template, now I'm editing it online. Okay, so like if I give you guys the template, which I will, I'll give you guys the template, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna change the images, right? So I'll just go through and I'd call this like, index 1, or I can call it button1.gif, okay? Button2.gif, and yes, they're not gonna work because they're not there yet. Button2.gif, okay? Button3.gif, right, like this. And then what's gonna happen is you're just gonna go in and replace the logo, the background, button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done deal. Right, does that make sense? So like if I had this, all I would need to do is change those. Like if I go here and I see the image, you just change the image and it works. Because what's happening is it's called a call, okay? So the page is calling something else. Right? So like if I went in and I said, oh, I want to, have the Google logo there. Obviously don't do this. You don't have the rights to it, but I'm going to show you how a call works. So if I do, let's do copy the Google logo or something like that. Copy image, where's it at? I think it'll work. But basically what you're doing is you're getting something from a different website, right? So like, let's say I want to get my affiliate marketing dude logo. All right, I would go to affiliatemarketingdude.com, copy image link, okay, or copy image, either one. And what's going to happen is it's now going to call this from the web. If this goes off of the web, that's not going to work. So it's calling it from the web. So it's calling these from the web. You just have them on your website and you're good. Does that make sense? Type call if you guys get that. Okay? Matt, you don't need to make $1 million even if you get 1% conversion rate, 1 person per 100, that's 47 a month, then compounded over time. Exactly, it's about building over time. So understanding the call, there you go, right? And you'll see those files on your server. So what will happen is the template, just upload it, change the images, Boom, you're good. I'll even have, like, I could go through and I could do file new image, and let's just go through and do like this here, image 1, right? Boom. I can go through and have all these there, and then you have your template. Image 1, image 2, image 3. You just replace them. Super simple, okay? If you don't understand that, watch other videos. It's basically like watch. This is how it works, okay? This is a folder on my computer. It's the same as a folder online. It's just instead of being on my computer, it's on a different computer. It's on a computer that's online, right? And online meaning a server. So if I have index here, right, this is what it looks like. This is the local version of my website, okay? If I go through and I say, oh, start my morning is now going to be called start my, let's call it clown. If I call it clown, ooh, wait, it doesn't work. Why? Because it's not called what it was called anymore, right? So now if I do this and rename it index 3, boom, rename, however you rename it, there we go, rename index 3, boom, and I think we might need to get rid of the GIF word because it knows GIF. There we go. Now it'll come back. Magic. That's all it is. Do the same thing online. It'll work the same online. You don't need a fancy program. This is just the template. Once you have the template, you're good to go. Now, what we want to do is we want to focus on the things that we can add to this to make it work. Mood, match, quote, how you feeling, blah, 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 blah. Here's all the stuff. Looks good. Yes, make it. Now we're going to go through and we're going to make this. This is about adding value in an interactive way. Having interactive stuff is huge, because a lot of people are like, here's my ebook on how to have a good morning. Okay, yeah, fine, great, wonderful. I want something that's going to get the quotes, something that's going to have the video, something that's going to have stuff that's going to help them that they're going to use daily. If they use this daily, there's lots of ways to make money. So now we have this here, copy, go back to our tools folder over here, back, tools, new file, let's call this feeling.htm, should work as HTML, edit, paste, save, and we got go, we had tools, and you can find them here too, feeling, boom. How you feeling? Unfocused, there's your quote. How you feeling? Determined. There you go, and it looks like it's, yeah, it is rotating them. Nice, I like this. Pretty cool, right? You could have this up at the top. How you feeling today? Sad, anxious, whatever. Again, now make an iframe 800 by 400 for this. No scroll bars. No scroll bars. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do over here. Now make the buttons different colors, please. And while I'm doing that, we're going to make this iframe thingy. Okay, how's our colors going? Cool, so I've got the different colors for like sad, anxious. It looks like it fit them too, which is pretty cool. Max says, so ebooks are no longer good. Ebooks are fine. I'm doing something better, something that I can use that people are going to use over and over and over again. You have to look at this like a business. If you don't have a business mind, if you're like, oh, well, if this is it, then an ebook won't work. Well, I'm going to use an ebook to get people over to something else. Maybe I'll get them to opt in. We have to start thinking like a business. How many of you guys want my ebook on how to make money online? Type ebook in the chat box if you do. How many of you guys would rather have my actual software that's like, oh, dude, this thing like walks you through everything, right? We showed you what the software looked like over here. Where was it? It was over here somewhere. 2025. This one. How many of you guys would rather have this software where you watch the video, the tool pops up, you get the prompts, you get everything step by step, right? Ebook, $20 value, maybe $97 value. Full software, thousands of dollars. maybe even a monthly recurring. Now with mine, I'm charging $500 for it. It's got a lot of stuff. Like you look at all the videos, I got years and years of good stuff in here that teaches you this, including tools. All right, you go here, you're like, oh, hey, I want to find backlinks. I want to increase conversions. All of these tools, this is all stuff you can make with AI. I mean, you start to think about this and it's like, oh, wait a minute. So now I know people are looking this up. I got tools I can use. I'm starting to build them. I'm starting to put them online. And then I look at like, okay, what would this one be? Let's see, what is this? Inspire Morning Planner. This one is Planner. So we're just going to close these. We don't need, this is the feelings one. Save, boom, get our iframe, copy. We could go to our mood one. So now we're going to go over here. Did we have a mood button? Focus score. Okay, we would just make a mood button over here, right? And then let's do mood button. And you can even go even further by having, let's call this one save as mood.htm. Save. Okay. I could put my iframe in here, although sometimes this program's buggy. But we'll go through and do that. All right, I could actually go through and start to have different buttons here based on moods and perking up their mood, okay? Buttons here. We don't need to make them because then this webinar would be even longer than it is. But if you appreciate these, let me know. File, save as mood, upload as mood, and what we're doing is we're walking our way through building a software. This is how I've done this because what you're going to do is you're going to learn about your market, you're going to use AI to learn, and you're going to build and say, oh, hey, this would be a cool add-on. Oh, hey, check this out. And you're going to keep going, and pretty soon you're going to have something that's like totally awesome. Now we're going through, and we'll do mood, or it was under go, mood.htm. Okay, so here's our mood one. It would have the buttons. Let's go ahead and put our iframe in the mood one. Reload. Up. Is it up a level? Yeah, we're in the tools still. Go. Tools, mood, edit. We're looking for the place where the tool goes. Welcome video here. We're going to put our tool there. Save. Here's our mood one. Hey, this is pretty cool, right? How you feeling this morning? Determined. Boom, there's your quote. Motivated. Unfocused. Doot, 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 doot. Now, can we make it better and move that down? Yeah, we can. Just have to go through, fix it up. I would just go through and say, oh, I need this to be a little bit bigger. Let's do, instead of 400, we'll do 420. 425, just so that there's no confusion with that. All right, and boom. There you go. Frustrated. Boom, boo, 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 boo. Pretty cool, right? So now you're starting to understand, oh, hey, this is how we're building it. Christine, I'm a website designer by trade, so I use some pretty high-level ones, but Google says Microsoft Expression Web is a free one that's similar to front page. All you need is the template. Literally, that's all you need. Let's make a template so that you guys can see how that works, okay? So we got logo, all right? And then we had buttons. So we'll just do buttons. So we'll do like this, okay? Let's do like this. Button. Okay? I like this. And you're going to edit these buttons. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to make a page or anything. OASH says, ebook captures people once, software makes them return. Exactly. If you have them using this, it's like apps. People love apps, right? Do you want, some website to go to play a game? No, I want the game. I want the app. That's what we're doing here. We're making that app, that thing that they're going to use. And we could turn these into apps. These buttons work great on mobile. Starting to understand that. Okay, so now let's make our template. So we'll do buttons here. Boom, 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 boom. Right, like this. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to back this up. I'm going to add the link first. Okay, so we'll do, let's see. Let's do like this. HTTPS. Your website, whatever, / link1.htm. Okay, that's it. That's all you got to do. And we'll go through and we'll do, okay, button, let's get like that. And then this should have all of them on there. It should also have the links. Yes, it does. Looking good, right? And then we go through logo, background. This is all you need. So file, save as, template. There you go. And then you just change the link, you change the button, boop-a-doop-a-doop, you do it on all of them, have a new page. That's it. You're just going to keep replicating. Once you have this, you're done, right? Because now I could go through, watch, this is what it looks like. Template, open with, notepad, and now, problem solved. What do I do? Okay, index2.gif, whatever your button's called. And if you wanted to be super organized, you would just go through and do like, okay, button1.gif or mood.gif. And then you do the next one, okay? Mood2.gif or whatever, right? You just go through, you add those. Inspire Morning, you would put your website wherever your logo is. All of this is interchangeable. Super, super simple. Once you have that template, you're done. Max says, I was going to make an ebook printable. You think it's bad now? No, I think this is better. You start with an ebook, get some sales, and then sell them on this. You have to look at everything like a business. I know a lot of gurus and teachers, they make you think like, oh, this is dead. This doesn't work anymore. Everything that I did back in 1999 still works today. Literally, this is how I made pages back in 1999. I used Front Page Express and, different web servers, but it's the same exact thing. Having an ebook, can you sell an ebook? Yes, you can sell anything. You can sell a sheet of paper and mail it to them if you want, right? But what is a good business decision? You can't look at everything as a one-size-fits-all. Maybe there's a niche where an ebook is good and better. Maybe there's a niche where this is better. Right? Maybe I don't need an entire software to teach people how to, ride a bike or whatever. Okay, maybe I need something else. But we're trying to think about where we can go through and build and make something of value. The more value you provide, the more money you can charge and the more money you will make. Ebook, lower perceived value. A lot of them are free, especially with AI now where you can generate your own ebook. Starting to lose a little bit of the luster. However, having something like this, where I can go through and add tools, there you go. Max, what type of ebook are you thinking? Is it decent? Like, is it, like we can go through and talk about what that would look like. But understanding that, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build that dashboard. Now, if you wanted to do this in an easy way, I could go through and have the dashboard built in AI if I wanted to. Like I could go through and say, here's my dashboard. Let's do like this, go right here. And I could say this is what my dashboard looks like. Give a little screenshot, capture, boom. I like this. And you can have it make that HTML dashboard. I would use something like Gemini, probably better. It's a little bit more visual than ChatGPT. So if you do like 2.0 Flash, here is my prototype. Please make the HTML template with some icons and buttons that would make this work. Something like that, right? And it'll understand pretty good what's going on. And then you can say, oh, hey, now I have my image. That's why uploading the images first is key, because now I can go through and say, okay, now we have this. Here's my logo. Add this, right? So now we'll just do Gemini alongside it. Now add my logo and repeating background. Logo, boom, back. I think we did back.png. And when we think about this, the traffic method's going to be really simple because all we're going to do is talk about morning routines, right? I could go through and be like, oh, hey, check this out. now I'm talking about, here's the things that Michael Jordan does on his morning routine. Here's the things that this guy does on his. And it's very easy traffic to get people interested. Or you could tackle the keywords, morning routine, or something like how to start your morning better, or something like that, okay? Bolt is good. It can do this. We'll test it in there and see. But looking at this, what we want, Bolt is going to give you trouble when it comes to uploading. Like if you don't understand code, get ready. That's a tough one. But I can go through and let's just do new file, and we'll call this temp.html or HTML. It doesn't matter. Either one's fine. Let's do temp, edit. We'll put in that code from Gemini, and then we should be able to see what it looks like over here. Temp.html. That's not bad, right? So it's got the icons, but it didn't make them. Like, I think mine's way better. This is probably more like a phone. Let's see what Bolt does. I don't know if Bolt will allow us to do the image. It might. Let's see, file, save as, desk, morning. And we should be able to upload it here. Let's see. Desk morning. I gotta sign in, of course. Let's see here. Please make a cool software type dashboard based on this. And then, you know, it'll do okay. Doing it in HTML I like because it gives me the control to do what I want where I want it, which is cool. Matt says, ChatGPT is good at this stuff. You can have it create PHP pretty easily. True. I think some people will get stuck with that, like the visualness of HTML and being able to use it in like an HTML editor like HTML6 works just as good, especially with the templates and everything. However, with HTML6, you're editing online, so all your files would need to be online first. Let's see what this looks like, and we'll take a look at this one. This is okay. It didn't do the link, so I mean, I'm going to have just as much work to do as if I start with a template. But then going through and saying, okay, now I can set up to sell. Okay, this is where you get into the nitty-gritty. Okay, now a lot of people are going to pitch you on, you know, ClickFunnels, high level, all of these things. You don't need it. I've been selling millions of dollars worth of downloads and things like that using Amember, which is a very simple software. I get to control it. It's all on my site. And basically what it does is it locks a folder. This is why I like Amember. This is why I've used it for so many years, because what's happening is you're going to lock a folder. So when I'm done with this, I can go through and I can lock Go and Tools until they pay. Then I can make another folder for an upgrade. And then what happens is they get a login. So I think it's like this. And if we do login like this is what it looks like. And they get access to whatever they paid for. So like all of these are just folders. So if they bought the Simple Sites 2020, boom, that folder they can do. If they don't have access and they haven't paid for it, it's going to show a login page, which I'm probably logged in on this computer too. But you'll see how it works. It's very simple, and it will lock that stuff for you. It'll take the payment. Like we set this up, and it literally just ties into your PayPal, your Stripe, whatever it is. You don't need anything fancy. I use this all the time. We actually use this on AI Profit Scoop as well. So like, I think it's under Amember here, right, like that. And then when they log in, they're getting access to the stuff that they bought. Very simple. And you can see here, oh, hey, I bought Blog Profit Network. Yay, there's that. There's the Tuesday calls. Hey, here's where the Simple Sites is going to be. We're moving it over here. Here's the AI Profit Scoop. They go in there. They could see that members area. This is controlled by WordPress. Others are controlled by HTML to give it that software feel. The reason I like the software feel is because I can actually compress it and make it its own app and then It gives the feel of complete software. Setting up to sell, I would use a member, although if you want, you could just use PayPal if you want to start on the cheap. You can use literally anything. Getting traffic, I'm going to go through. If I was going to promote this one, I would do a video, like talk about morning routines. Keep talking about it. Give good value based on morning routines. Talk about morning routines. Start a podcast. Make AI videos if you don't want to be on camera. You could do that. Not recommended, but I mean, you could do it. People are doing that now and getting results. You could do Pinterest, morning welcome stuff. Like you can have an Instagram, which is all about morning quotes, things like that. Very easy content to make. And then since they're thinking about morning quotes in the morning, I just point them over to my software and say, hey, buy this software. Here's what it does. Very simple, right? It's line by line. That's why in the beginning, we went through and looked at the niche first, right? What other niches could you do this in? Let's say I wanted to go into how to sell your house niche. Right now, people are looking to sell their house. They're struggling. They don't know how to do it. Realtors don't know what's going on. It's crazy. And so what if I can make a thing where it's like, oh, icon 1, price your house. Icon 2, see what other people are selling for. Icon 3, see what you need, what you'd end up with. You can have calculators and tools all along the way. Being able to add those tools and the calculators along the way takes it from a boring $7 ebook to a $100 course, $200 course, $300 software tool that's literally guiding them through everything. That's what people want. They want the hand-holding experience of this software is walking me through it, making it easy. And once we do that, maybe I can do a resume writing guide, okay? You go through and you're like, okay, what would this look like? What could a visual dashboard look like for a resume writing course / software with tools and icons? And it would go through and it'll visually make it for you, and then you're just going to build it. The art niche is what I'm doing, the ebook, printable, 4.0. So it would depend on what type of art. Are you teaching art? Is it a coloring pages book? What is it you're looking at, and why did you choose that? A lot of people make things without thinking why, and they're like, oh, someone told me to make print on demand, so I made 100 t-shirts with cats on them. I'm like, okay, well, why did you do that? Did you have traffic for cats? Do you have a traffic model for cats? If you do, then sure. But most people are not doing that. Most people are like, I'm going to start a website about this because that's what I feel like doing. Well, that's great if you're not in it to make profit. If you're in it to make profit, we need to look at the data, look at the numbers, see what people are buying, see how it would help. If you're doing something like art, okay, could you do a dashboard that's like learn how to draw people, learn how to draw eggs, learn how to do this, learn how to do that? You could, or cross-hatching, cross-stitching, types of pencil art, or whatever. Or maybe you make a tool that helps them sell their art. Oh, did you list it on eBay? Good. Did you list it on here? Did you list it on that? And it'll walk them through and open up the things for them. This is where the rubber meets the road, and it starts to make this stuff so much more valuable. So here we have like visual dashboard, sidebar navigation, my resume tools, course lessons, AI writing help. This is perfect. Could I make a really good resume software about this? Yes, I could, and I could use AI to make all of these. Is it going to be made in one afternoon without any work? No. It's going to take a lot of work. But the more work you put into it, and the more data-driven decisions, the better chance you have of making it work. And when I start to understand, okay, here's what the grid would look like. Right now, make it a tree chart to show all the buttons and what they lead to. You can also use Notebook LM for this. It has this mind map, which will actually generate the trees for you, and you could visually see what it would look like. It would be very simple. You just go like this, create new. Let's do discover sources, resume writing, tips, advice. Let's see what happens here. So resume writing, tips, and advice. Now, the cool thing about Notebook LM is I could get sources I want, So like, let's say I like meditation, and maybe I like Anthony DeMello, and maybe I like Alan Watts, Ram Dass. I can put that stuff in here, get the schematic for what they teach. Now I have something a little bit more concrete. This is where, like, if you're going to make meditation videos, now you have something to sell. So instead of putting meditation videos out there with no rhyme or reason just because someone told you to do it, that's a waste of time. I'm doing it with this express idea of promoting this tool, right? Whether I charge for it, whether I give it away, whether it's membership, whatever I'm looking at. So when you go through and get that mind map, now I can see visually, oh, what would this look like on a dashboard? Then I could give that to AI and say, make a dashboard about this. Come up with some icons, come up with some images. Starting to look at this a different way and visualizing, oh, okay, resume. So purpose, resume versus CV. I don't even know what a CV is. Something, right? And then we can go through and turn this into whatever it is. And when you expand all these, you can download it and then give that to AI. Say, hey, make a dashboard based on this. And it makes a little image. There's our image. I can make the dashboard based on that. So it's visualizing it in a different way to provide better value to the marketplace. Then what would I do for content? Well, in order to get traffic there, it actually did a really good job. Check that out. That's cool. So there's your buttons on page 2. Here's your buttons on page 3. Now, name them all file name.php. Then it'll give you the whole schematic of what the file names would look like, okay? So here we have myresume.php, links to these buttons, tools.php. Now please no, let's see, because I don't want those. That's just going to make it difficult. There we go. Nice. So this would tell you how many pages in total would I need? Are you guys seeing how this is like building a business, right? Like we're building something that's going to be used for a long time. And now we have this. And the cool thing about having them on your site is they are dynamic, so we can change it. We can add to it. Something I've been doing for years. My resume, tools.php. So we could see like all the files, 54 PHP files. Okay, so this would take, for a new person, this probably take a couple of weeks to build. So for the guy that wants to do the ebook, start with the ebook. Sell it, give it away, build a list, something. Okay, then when you have this ready, boom, now you have something you can sell and traffic to sell it to. Once you understand that, it puts you in a league of your own, because having your own product is one of the things a lot of people never do, which is why they struggle. Right? Because they're like, okay, I'm relying on affiliate. Some people don't like affiliates. I'm relying on this. I mean, I could literally go and post a meditation quotes on Facebook and just lead them to my meditation software or whatever it is. Heather says, I'm just starting at the very beginning. Better late than not at all. I'm excited. I don't know the niche yet. Have 4 followers. Okay, so find your niche first. You have to start with the data of the niche, seeing where we can go. I'm going to have a list of all of these. If you want to work with me, you can check out highticketniches.com. We'll find your niche for you. We'll get the domain name. A lot of times the domains we get actually help people a step further, because now they will have rankings, okay? So for example, there was a domain I bought just recently, and it's not a high-ticket niche because it's one that I bought for me, right? It was an expensive domain. Not super expensive, like $600, $500, something like that, $550. It was Explainer Video Production. Okay, so I bought this domain knowing people look for explainer video stuff. Already my traffic value is at 1,000. I just put one post up. Am I making 1,000 on this? No, I'm making nothing on it. I didn't even put affiliate links on it yet. Okay, I haven't done anything with it except one post that I did live. I do have to get our team to build it, but I can build a course around doing animated video. And I can have, oh, here's a link to this software, use my affiliate link. Using all this stuff, looking at, now I have traffic to sell it to, now I can post over here, now I can make videos over here. Now I have somewhere to send my traffic. You're not just making content for the sake of making content, which is what a lot of people teach, which is like, no, that's not business. That's fancy spam, really. Like if you're just making content to hope it makes money, that's fancy spam. What we want to do is good stuff. The internet is getting inundated and overwhelmed with AI content spam. Even in my industry, the make money industry, right? You have so many people that can make so many videos, and it's worse than brain rot, and it's like money-making brain rot, and it doesn't really leave us better. I want to give you something where it's like, I understand the business. I understand where I'm going to go with it. I understand what I can add to it. I understand if I was going to do this resume thing, now I could go through and say, now list 100 resume tips. I could make content about this with the express purpose of selling my software. Notice how in this video, I subtly showed you, hey, if you don't have the Simple Sites course, yeah, you should probably get it because, and where is the Simple Sites course anyway? We're moving it, so, we got to find it. I think it's under here. There we go. I subtly showed the Simple Sites course because I'm like, hey, I'm practicing what I preach, but also this is more of like, if you like my training, you're going to love this because it goes through and it's like, oh, here's all the profit skills. Here's all this. Here's videos that help you with it. Here's all of this stuff here. And it walks you through everything step by step. That's the key. There's some glossary we made, all kinds of stuff. And understanding, oh, wait a minute, this is the key. Let's see here. Marry that, interview tips and guidelines. So many ideas and ways just pop in my head daily. Focus. So like if you're at the idea phase, focus on a niche. This is why our high-ticket niche program is so popular, because we rein you in. And then when you're on the coaching calls with me, I'm like, hey, what's the niche we got you? Okay, let's go back to that. And then going back to that is where it's at. Then you build your dashboard, set up to sell, and then you get traffic. How am I going to get traffic? I'm going to do infographics and mock-ups. I'm going to do videos and demos. I'm going to show them how to use the tool. One of the best things ever is if I have a how you feeling today tool, wherever it was over here somewhere, right? And I can show how to use that. Like here's one. Okay, what's this? Good afternoon, here's what's happening today. Okay, that didn't even hit the, it wasn't even close to what I wanted, but at any rate, we could go through and work it and say, oh, I have this tool that, let's see, what is it? Morning, Inspire Morning. So I would have this tool here. I could show them how to use this. Hey, every morning, if you click this, it'll give you a quote based on how you feel, right? Very simple. We want to make things, show them how to use it, make good quality stuff. If I make an SEO post about morning motivation, do the best I can, right? Or morning routine. Watch, I could go through and I can do something like this. List the top people who have popular morning routines. 50, please. List name plus morning routine. Watch what happens here. We're going to get content that's deliberately going to get what they want. And it's even telling me this stuff. I could include this in it, right? Here's the top things by these people. Very cool. Now, just the name and the word morning routine. Okay, so here's our list. We're getting 40. And then this is going to help us make content that will help, right? And make good content. What can I do good that will help people? Or you can even make buttons based on each of these. It really is the sky is the limit, right? So let's go through and do this and see how it even said, do you want these in the dashboard? Do you want these in it? Like, that's pretty cool. Remove the, if we remove that, we should get a list we can use in our keyword tool. And then I'll show you what I mean. And again, is this something that's going to make you rich overnight? No, it takes work. It's a very calculated business strategy. It's one I use all the time. So I can go here, go to Keywords Explorer, put all these in, search, and watch what happens. 350 for this guy, 300 for this, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. Now, in addition to this, even though only 80 people search for it, if you were to look this up on YouTube, I'll do it over here, you will see a lot of views. So we got Jeff Bezos daily routine, 218,000. Jeff Bezos morning routine, 1,500, 14,000. 843,000 trying Jeff Bezos' morning routine. And on we go. At 1.3 million, I tried Jeff Bezos' morning routine. I mean, this is where it's at. And you have a lot of traffic, and you're like, oh, hey, check out the, Inspire Morning desktop. Pretty simple. You just point to what you have. So looking at this is absolutely key. Getting traffic, adding affiliate offers, what can I add? If Jeff Bezos does a fancy coffee routine, okay, does he have a coffee maker? Maybe I'll use that. Maybe I'll link to that. Do they do a workout? Maybe I'll link to the Peloton if they use the Peloton. Maybe if they use a special pillow, I'll link to that. And you can have a whole section of your dashboard dedicated to isolating what other people do, right? I could do what do they all have in common? And this is how you use AI to really dissect information in a specific way, right? Anyone can use AI to spit out an article. Woohoo, fun, great. But we want to use it to say, okay, for my specific purpose of what I'm doing, how can I do this? What do they do? Consistency and structure, mind and body activation. I could go through and I can make a video about the top morning routines of successful people. I mean, there was a guy who made a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he sold a few copies, like at least 2, right? Probably closer to like 10 million. But starting to understand, hey, wait a minute, this is where the rubber meets the road. I need to treat this like a business, and I need to use AI as my assistant. Very important. Oash says, please, only famous people worth quoting. Many are not, but yes, I get it. Well, hey, wait a minute. We can use them all. Like if there's, pick someone you don't like. Okay, well, this person does this. So if you don't want to be this, then don't do this. And starting to look at this is key. And then we can even say, how about popular sobriety people? And you make a tool for that. Like for me, I'm in recovery. I like having a quote every day. One of the things I do every night is listen to a talk. So we can go through here and talk about all this. What do they do daily? Morning routine. Boom. And you'll go through and you'll see all this. Do you see how this is giving us data that is valuable rather than just more meaningless content? This is all about value, helping, thinking differently, adding it to our dashboard. Like if I really worked at making a really good morning dashboard, I think I could make a business out of it. Again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. Most people make nothing. But if we look at businesses, I think that would work. So now we're seeing their different routine begins with prayer, coffee. You could even make like a religious one. And so now you're starting to see, hey, this can actually work. This is actually how we build it. Then you could do add-ons to increase value, video walkthroughs, printable worksheets, Chrome extensions, mobile-friendly versions, bonus templates, APIs, all kinds of things. I would keep it simple, make it basic, make it something people would want to use and get them using it. Give it away to the first 50 people. See if they like it. Get them using it. I mean, you'll have your affiliate links in there anyway, so there you go. And starting to realize, yes, I can build and grow, but I need to start with that niche first. I need to make a data-driven decision that's going to give me that platform to start building and growing and building and growing. Max says, for quotes, doesn't an ebook grab emails better than a dashboard? I don't know about you, but if I had the choice between a dashboard and an ebook, I would definitely choose a dashboard. And the cool thing about it, when you use the way that I'm teaching you it just so happens to be the cheapest way to do it, with like Aweber or Amember, when you use Amember, I can have a free version and seamlessly make them log in to get the paid version. So like I could be like, oh, here's the free quote toolbar or dashboard, and then they're like, oh, I want the advanced tips. Oh, you need to log in and pay for that. I've done that many times where it's seamless, and you just have 2 folders. It's the same software, 2 folders. One has the advanced stuff, one has the non-advanced stuff. And it's very, very flexible to build a business this way. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this training. If you did, smash the like button. Check out highticketniches.com if you want to work with me. We'll show you how to build all these things, and we have impeccable support where we're here every week. You got calls you can attend every week. You can get help. Yes, it is me on the calls. You can ask me questions direct. Sometimes our other people will do calls, like I know Alina does a tools call, and Valeria's got a Canva call, and sometimes we have WordPress calls and all kinds of stuff like that. But the support's impeccable. Now, if you want to get the template, we're going to make the template ready for you over at AIProfitScoop.com. And we got all kinds of tools about how to make money with AI over in that course. But I think it's time that we start treating this like a business, look at it objectively, figure out how and where we're going to make money, provide value, and go and get it. Thanks again for watching. Smash that like button if you liked it. Check out the videos in the description. They are chosen specifically based on this topic to help you. And if you're not a member of AI Profit Scoop, you probably should be. Check that out at AIProfitScoop.com. Thanks again. See you next time.